There we go. The broadcast is live.
Yeah, we're on. We're live. This is Dr. J
And this is Spike, Mr.
streaming
Spike
live from Long Island, New York.
from Long Island.
Yeah, where the weather was, what would you say the weather was? Cold,
The weather was frightful,
frightful.
using
There was
the words from
nothing
that
to do
song.
it.
The
Anything,
weather outside was it's actually still
it
very
was
frightful
anything
out
but
there.
salubrious.
Everything but
Yeah,
salubrious is correct. Actually, I'm going to
salubrious.
see the Jets on Sunday, and I'm not looking
Ooh,
forward to it.
are they going to beat
Not that I'm
Miami?
not that I'm not looking forward to the weather. Yeah, they're playing Miami. They're going to beat Miami. That's correct. That's the.
You think they will? Well,
I certainly hope so.
Miami beat them one game already, right?
Yes. What happens is that I sort of call the Jets. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of a virgin breaker. This is somebody who actually takes pride in giving people their first opportunity.
Uh-huh.
And so Jets have handed the first win to a couple of teams this year,
Okay, including Cincinnati Bengals, right?
including the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins.
And we have,
So
you shouldn't complain. We should not complain about the weather in New York. It's got to be better than Snaid's weather in Utah.
oh, Utah, yeah. What?
Snaid,
Hello, Snaid.
did you figure out that skit? I tried to explain that skit about Utah and the
Oh, please.
vaudevillians, and nobody
I
could understand what I was
I
trying to
I
describe.
spent the entire, and I'm like, I have to be missing either that or I must
Well,
just.
it is just the way I described. Picture Groucho Marx following out a scantily clad woman who's singing a song. I come from Utah. And she does bumps and grinds. And the perv is bumping and grinding as she's bumping and grinding and says, "Where the hell is Utah?" You still, I forget it. Just forget it. Forget it. He's saying, "Where the hell is you?"
Well,
I don't want to
but
discuss it anymore.
yeah, I know.
We can't discuss
I think we're beating a dead horse. I'm afraid.
more snow on the way. Rainy,
Oh,
foggy day.
yeah.
Where
Well,
were you? You're not in Salt Lake City, or are you? I don't remember if we asked you. Provo? I don't remember where.
Provo.
Is it Provo? Oh, whatever.
Well, he'll tell us. He'll tell us in a minute too.
Those are the only two
So,
cities I know in Utah.
actually, I was thinking about something today, and it had to
Yeah,
do with the picks that you made last week on the football.
yeah.
One thing, I don't want to even look at football anymore. These Dallas Cowboys are really bothering me
They
because,
lost.
they lost again
Yeah, they
and
lost
again and again.
and again.
It's very annoying. And again and
Well,
again
you
and
know what
again.
it is? It's a Jerry Jones shooting his mouth off bullshit that caused it.
Think
Don't
that's it?
fire the coaching staff in the middle of the season over a loss to the New England Patriots. Lynn, how you doing?
How's it going?
Few miles out of Salt Lake City. Yeah, you told us. I forgot. I'm sorry. Magna. Lynn,
Well,
you're
anyway,
on
so
time.
these Cowboys.
We weren't going to start until Lynn showed up.
Oh, exactly.
Remember, it's not Sherry. It's Spike. It's not Sherry. It's Lynn.
Oh, it says Sherry on the thing.
Yeah, that's just her email.
Oh, I see. Sorry, Lynn.
I don't know why you're hogging the screen.
Yeah, I know, right? Come on, me and my
Why are you
hammy
hogging?
face, all this ham.
Why are you hogging the screen?
So anyway,
Yeah. So you
I'm
don't
trying
want
to remember what your picks were last week, just to test you to see if you were right.
Lousy and lousier.
Well, you did. You took me off the Ravens and put me on the 49ers, right?
Well, I
And
didn't understand why you were picking the Ravens. just because Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in football.
Yeah, I know, right? Silly me. Well, they won the game, but they didn't cover this. But
Yeah.
they didn't cover the spread. Actually, the spread was 6 points. So that was that was pretty much the only thing I won last week was the advice I took from you.
Yeah.
So I would have been in a bigger donut if I hadn't listened to you.
Who's Oakland playing this week?
Who's Oakland playing this week?
Yeah.
You mean the Raiders?
Yeah.
You really can't. The
No,
Traders?
I don't mean the Raiders. I mean the Ravens. I'm sorry.
Oh, the Ravens. The Ravens are playing and they're only giving 6 points
At Buffalo?
at Buffalo.
Oh man, Bill, jump all over Josh Allen.
Oh, really?
Jump all over that one. Mortgage the house. Mortgage the house. Second mortgage.
Well, you like Bills as the underdog.
Oh, I love them. What
Okay,
the touchdown?
It's 6 points, two field goals.
6 points. They'll probably win the game.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, they showed toughness last week anyway.
Yeah, they're playing at Buffalo. We'd probably be a foot of snow there.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, that's the whole thing. Whenever it's really snowy and crappy, I always go for the underdog.
Well, especially Buffalo at home.
Yeah. I think the only people I wouldn't, if they're playing Minnesota or if they were playing Green Bay, I probably wouldn't use weather as a factor.
I think Jack Kemp is going to be at the game.
Oh, Jack Kemp? Okay. Old buddy of yours.
Yeah. Old buddy. Ran for president, vice president.
Yeah, yeah, he certainly did. I remember the guy very well.
Yeah.
Who would have thought he'd end up being the reasonable one?
The only football player to run for vice president or president, right?
Yeah. Well, Bill Bradley was a basketball player that tried to get somewhere.
He ran for president.
Yeah, he did run for president.
Yeah.
He probably would have been a good choice.
Yeah, he came pretty close, but he couldn't compete with Dollar Bill.
Dollar Bill. No, Dollar Bill definitely.
Bill the Perv beat the shit out of him. Why did we keep on getting pervs for president? I don't understand.
There was this old question in terms of professions. The question, like for instance, they used to say this. No offense to you, about mathematicians. They said that people who got their PhDs in mathematics tended to be a little psychotic, and so the question was: did getting the PhD make them psychotic, or was it the math that appealed to their psychotic nature? So it's like a chicken and egg kind of thing.
I never heard psychotic. I've heard of slightly eccentric.
Oh, okay, fine. Let's use that euphemism then. Slightly eccentric. So my question to you, it's sort of like a chicken and egg. Do you think that advanced study in math makes you slightly eccentric, or do you think that if you were slightly eccentric, you would go into math?
Neither. I think it's a bubamycin.
All right. So you're completely useless to me in terms of answering this question.
Mathematicians are the sanest.
All right, no, I know, because you're probably, like I said, I didn't mean to offend you. I'm not calling you psychotic or eccentric. I'm talking about the field in general.
Well, if you called me, I might not disagree, but you're lousing up my field.
Right? Yeah, you're the exception that makes the rule, Jerry. Dr. J.
Something like that. Crazy shooting today,
oh yeah. Well, and this time it wasn't somebody who was in the military going nuts. It was somebody from the outside
going nuts.
Not that makes it any better.
I don't even know exact details. I left early in the morning. I heard one person was killed, but
two are dead plus the shooter.
Oh, 2 dead plus the shooter.
Yes. So, and the shooter was a military man from Saudi Arabia.
What was it? Somebody from?
He's a military man from Saudi Arabia. But the Saudis are our friends.
Yeah.
So again, it could have been this kind of convenience thing. I happen to have a gun. I happen to be in Florida. Put 2 and 2 together.
And who was this maniac? What was he doing?
I didn't get much intel beyond that.
Well, this came a few days after the Pearl Harbor attack, right?
Right. Well, Pearl Harbor is tomorrow. Pearl
When
Harbor
did
Day.
No, I don't mean Pearl Harbor, December 7th. It was a shoot.
Oh, the Pearl Harbor. Yeah, the shooting of Pearl Harbor was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And,
So
and the Congress just
why
doesn't
can't why can't people be copycats for like good behavior instead of copycats for bad behavior?
Yeah. Bloomberg's one of his big campaign issues is gun control. He really is taking a hard line on gun control.
Yeah.
He says,
Yeah,
F
indeed.
you. He says, F you to the NRA. He don't care.
FU NRA.
F
FUNRA.
you, NRA. So, I mean, that's one of the, he's spending so much money, he might actually get the nomination. He'll buy the nomination.
You know something? I mean, a lot of when people are saying about this time 4 years ago, this time 8 years ago, this time 12 years ago, it's not really all that late. It just appears late because of all the people who threw the hat in the ring so early. So you're right. It's not an impossibility.
Well, he's
because everybody
wait a second.
on the current
Iowa, he's passing on New Hampshire. Does that still?
Well, he has no other choice. He has no other choice because he just came in so late, so late, like I said. But I mean, the deal is he could probably still do okay without them. And the thing is that I think
out, and she was running number 5 in the polling. I don't know why she couldn't stay in.
Maybe that whole business with her staffer was a bombshell.
I don't know.
When the staffer wrote that note,
and
I'm sure the money was.
I think the next debate they're down to 5. It's going to be Biden, number 1, number 2 Sanders, number 3 Warren, number 4 Buttigieg.
Yes.
Buttigieg.
Is my friend my friend Amy Klobuchar going to be there?
Yeah, she's number 5.
Oh, she's number 5. Okay, good.
No Cory Booker, no Yang, no
really,
no whatever the guy is spending a ton of money. Also, the other billionaire.
Oh, right. Tom
Steyer.
Yeah, Steyer.
None of those guys.
Who is the only one who's actually talking explicitly about impeachment? Everybody else is trying to leave that issue alone.
Oh, I think Amy wants him. He spoke out against Trump, wants him impeached.
Well,
Greg, how you doing? Cabinet guy, how you doing? From the Green Mountain State.
All right, Greg. And cabinet guy.
And Greg is from he's a neighbor.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, he lives right near us in the hinterlands of Long Island.
Right. The Suffolk. Right.
Yeah.
You know how they say that this Staten Island is the conservative part of New York City, and so
yeah, it is.
Right. So friends of mine call it Staten. They call it Staten, Italy.
Staten Island definitely is the conservative part of.
Well, that was the thing that was sort of confusing me, because this guy Max Rose is sort of just got elected in that blue wave that Trump caused, and a lot of people were behind him, but because he has a big part of Staten Island in his district, he's playing it a little bit coy.
When you know people from Utah, where the hell Staten Island is?
Excuse me?
They don't know from Staten Island. Does Utah know about Staten Island?
Does Utah know about Staten Island? Right. It's sort of like this kind of thing where it's like, well, it's sort of all the same. Have you ever been in a situation where you say, well, I'm from New York, and somebody says, are you from New Jersey? And you say, no, I'm from New York. And they go, it's all the same anyway.
To most people,
no bigger way to offend a New Yorker or a New Jerseyite, for that matter.
Probably more offensive to New Jerseyites.
Probably.
Yeah. All
Probably.
right,
It's
so
pretty funny.
look, we're not going to talk football, and we don't know what the hell we're talking about in
Well,
politics.
yeah, that's true. I was gonna ask you, so you don't have any picks of the week for football,
Well, I
the
have one
upshot
pick.
of my
I like
question.
Buffalo. Take the
Oh, you
6.5
like Buffalo? Oh, that's right. That's the pick.
and go
That's
direct.
the week.
Go directly to the bank, or not directly. Stop at your bookie first, and then get the
So you have no
money, and then
Lions.
go to the bank.
All right. Well, there's two other games that I think are interesting. I'm just going to ask you. Well, actually, two that I think are interesting. One is Vikings Lions, but only because the spread is so darn big. 13 points.
Is it
Have the Lions really lost? It's at Minnesota.
At Minnesota. Who's
13
their
points is a
quarterback?
lot of points.
Did Minnesota have a quarterback? Or is it still that guy Foles?
Foles, no.
Who's
You're going to stump me there, even though I'm a big Vikings fan.
Where
All right, so we're going to move.
Didn't Foles start a couple of games for them? The Philadelphia Eagles guy?
Yes, that's right. That's who he is.
Yeah, he started, I think, a couple of games. I don't know. I haven't been following it. I've been following baseball.
All right, then.
Eagerly awaiting spring.
You've been following, right, with the Mets losing their owners. The Mets traded their owners.
Have a real owner with real money behind them. Of course,
right. Somebody's not going to cheap out.
Trading, but that's besides the point.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Cohen.
Well,
you think he made it?
Steve Cohen. That's right.
Is he a legitimate?
That was going to be the name I was going to use if I ever went on. Now I guess I can't use it because it'll get too much attention.
Why are you so blurry? Your picture blurred up on me for some reason.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Maybe those glasses of yours got foggy. No, you're right. It did get. I'm just playing with you. I have no idea. I'm working.
I don't know.
I'm working with inferior technology. Even though every time I try to improve, I just make things worse.
That's because every time somebody gives me advice on what I should do to improve this show, they say improve your production quality. I said, does that mean camera?
Yeah, bought a new mic.
Yes. Does that mean microphone? They say yes. I said, does that mean lighting? They say yes. Everything, all of the above.
And then they're going to replace me and you with two hot chicks. The only other game I wanted to ask you about was the 49ers and the Saints. Do you have any opinion on that one?
49ers and who?
And the New Orleans Saints.
Drew Brees against Garoppolo.
Against Jimmy.
At Niners?
No, at New Orleans.
What's the spread?
The spread is not that big. The spread is 2.5 points. The favorite is the Saints, believe it or not. So that's really the 3 points is really what they call the home team advantage. So in essence, it's a pick 'em.
You know what? I don't have any real feel on that game.
Okay, well, let's see if any of our friends do.
I don't have any real
out on the ether.
What's the spread on the Vikings game?
13 points. 13? They're expecting a blowout. 13 points over the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
who I thought used to be a decent team.
Yeah, Stafford is playing.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. I just don't get it. Well, look, they didn't win in Thanksgiving, and that's usually what people expected.
So Snaid said, "Don't worry, he can read a map. He can figure out where Staten Island is."
Where it is, it's how it is was the question.
Spoon,
you know
74 and sunny in Farmersville, Texas. How about AQST and PTI? PTI, that's been a hot. That's a hot biotech.
PTI. Any dreams left?
Shot that.
Yeah, that'd be a good start.
My friend Andy.
Both of them or just PTI?
My friend Andy called me and he said he took it to the bank already, PTI. He already took it to the bank and he's eyeing it again. He's eyeing it again at like 355, I think he told me. We're going to look at PTI. And what's the other one? AQST. Okay, Spoon. We're going to start right now. We'll start with Spoon stocks. Okay.
Yeah, I can see. I was just.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. You please do. I have my own copy, so I can get an advance notice.
We wasted just enough time for Spoon to get on and give us a couple of good ones.
Right, and give us a
real good one, a couple of real good ones. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All righty. You want to start with the Dow? Just take a quick peek.
Yeah, I was actually doing the S&P just to see what was going on. No, yeah, there you go.
Too. But the Dow is now back to the trend line that I talked about. Yes. This trend line is a lot less severe than this one. This was an extreme channel that we were in. And I thought that it would take this slower path to 30K. And I think it's resuming that path. So I expect another up week. This was a bummer of a start to the week on Monday.
Yeah, Monday, but it wasn't a sustained. It wasn't a sustained loss.
Tuesday got worse, but the rest of the week was very good.
I think everybody just decided to use those 2 days as buying opportunities.
Yeah.
Because the money, there's a lot of money on the sidelines. There's a lot of money on the sidelines.
We're still basically break even on the week, right? We closed the week.
No, actually, what they said was that the last 3 days erased the first two.
Yeah, 28,051 last Friday. So we're down 35 points on the Dow. So the whole week was like didn't happen.
Exactly. And with that volatility, you would have thought my VIX would have done something. But remember, the VIX is not volatility. The VIX is just to sell on the market, which is dumb.
Spike. This is the week that wasn't for the Dow.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It is the week that wasn't. But like I said, when you see movement like this, who's playing straddles on their options, they got in the money on the put side, and then they got in the money on the call side.
You have to be a nimble trader.
Those people got really rewarded this week. I mean, so you're right. For people like us, this is a nothing week, but there have to be a lot of people who either lost a lot of money or made a lot of money this week.
Maybe, I have a feeling maybe Spoon is Andy. Spoon, are you Andy? Because Andy called me today and told me about PTI, telling me how much money he took to the bank. He made a ton of money.
I think the bigger question was that it went from like below $1 up to like 350 or 375, and now it just went back down a little bit. And so the question is there anything left?
How did I get here? I hit the
how did you get there? See, you got to pay the. And then I keep on calling you Sherry. I know. I'm sorry. The what is that? Mountain. MTNB. We'll do that one. We'll definitely do that one next. We missed that one last week. We sort of owe you that one.
No, I charted it. I did chart it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I believe I did.
Oh, we could always do it again.
Therapeutics. Holy mackerel. My friend.
Yeah, like I said, it certainly had a good month.
He said he's eyeing it at 355, meaning he might get back in on Monday. I think I got to get Andy on the show because he's the PTI expert.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Andy is already taking it to the bank. He's out of it, but I think he's going to go back in on Monday. So Andy says it's still a buy. Dr. J says, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm I do
don't
not.
know.
I won't say. I won't give an opinion with your voice.
But I do like the support area right here. So I will say that. Let's draw that horizontal line. It's way below the close, but still a support area.
Right.
Horizontal line right in here. A little higher, maybe. Right about there.
So what? It's still around. That's around 2-ish, right? Around
240.
240.
282. So as
282.
long as it stays above 282, I think it's pretty bullish.
All right.
Yeah, of course, you don't want to see it drop that low, but
No,
if it's still
not over 355. You lose a lot of money while you're waiting.
right, but you could take it could take a drop to $3 and might be a good spec at that point. I personally wouldn't chase it, but that's just me.
Right.
What's the other one that
The other one from him was AQST.
A
And then we should definitely do MTNB next.
all right. AQST.
AQST.
Oh, there it is. Aquestive Therapeutics. I love these names. Another runner, all the way to $10, came back down to 8 already. After hours, 796. Well, this one is showing well, it closed the gap. It closed the gap which it had to do. So it closed the gap at 810. Once they close the gap, they could run again. It's possible that this might be a very interesting play just from this little chart. It looks weak, but it might just rebound off or after closing the gap. The gap was right in here. Did it close it? Yeah, it closed the gap today.
There you go. Right.
Now, it's an interesting.
What he's saying, there might be a new range over in there.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes it'll go down to the middle of that green candle and then turn around. So even though it closed the gap, it could go lower. I like this area in particular, like this area if you want to go long.
Right.
Like 750 area, 760. Somewhere between now and 760 looks like an interesting play. And you with a tight stop loss at the low of the day here, or just below that. So it's tight stop loss at around 680. So you can lose 80 cents.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but there doesn't seem to be. I mean, there's no indicator what the top end might be. You know,
the high of the day when it spiked.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right, up in there.
Sure.
Okay. I guess there's some room in there. You're right. You know,
$10.
Ain't nothing, as they say.
And also, if you wanted to tighter range, right in here at about $9.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to be in for like 90 cents, you get in now and you look for 90 pennies. And on the downside, 80 pennies.
Right.
So, I personally would want to get in at the lower number. I would be greedy and try to wait for 760.
Yeah, right down that deep support you have. Yeah.
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 What else? MTNB?
Yeah, MTNB. It's actually a very interesting looking stock because that one doesn't have that little tail off at the end. You'll see when you put it up there.
MTNB is in a hot little area now with these. It's another one of those EPA, DPA, whatever they're called.
The SEPA, right?
Omega-3 snake oil.
Yeah, the fish, right, the fishy snake oil.
Yeah,
Right. This one made a move over the last month too. I mean, we had been eyeing it out, but it's certainly
I mean,
worth
we
looking
can
at.
make fun of the fishy snake oil if we want, but look what Amarin did from
Yeah,
2 to 20.
exactly.
So, and they're still a buy at 22.
You're talking about Amaranth.
Amarin, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about this one? What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking if you want in, you got to wait for a pullback. You can't run after this one.
But yeah, if you're looking at because
$1.75 minimum. If you want to take a shot on the upside, wait for a pullback.
wait for a pullback to. Yeah, well, let's
$1.70.
see. The resistance has usually been about $1.50 on the top end prior to that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it may very well not go back there though.
I always like halfway back on the body.
Okay, so then that would be about $1.50.
No, wouldn't it be
No, $1.40.
line about $1.75?
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see that. That's what you mean between those 2 points, between the 150 and the $2. So you're thinking about 175, splitting
Once
the
it
difference
goes
there.
below the lower today, I'm out. And then I say, okay, I lost. I give up.
Right.
Because it could go all the way back. You don't know. It broke this key level, however. So it does look like the sky's the limit, but we don't. That's probably not the case that the sky is the limit.
Right. You're right.
There it is on the
Lynn
weekly.
says the Amarin is its competition, and she also wanted to know if the 50 crossing the 200 was meaningful at all.
The 50 and the 200-day moving averages.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at it in the weekly. In the weekly, you see that it actually ran to close to $4, $3.99 to be precise. So it has been up there before, collapsed
Right.
all the way down to like 0, and has risen from the dead, along with AQST and Amarin and all those fishy stocks. But look at this week.
Did they have a life a couple of years ago? This one had a lot of life in 2007.
Could you imagine if you bought it on Monday, you paid as low as $1.52. That's not bad for 1 week.
Yeah, doubling your money in 1 week. It's something I guess I would take.
I think last week, when asked about this, I said, look for a pullback, and you may not get it, but I would wait for the pullback. Pullback never happened. So that's the problem with waiting for a pullback.
I guess.
Sometimes it runs away from you. And I had my eye on this one all week, and I just didn't pull the trigger because I said to myself, I'm chasing.
Right.
But in reality, it would have been good at any point along the way, pretty much.
Well, during this week. Well, actually, yeah, right, during this week in the previous month and a half.
And this is an old favorite of Greg's, ADXS, another runner. ADXS, ADXS. What's the symbol? ADXS. This is a listeria bacteria immunostimulator or something like that, immunotherapy stock. It's been on a run that's unreal. Let's go back to the daily so we could better appreciate the run.
Yeah, right. Hard to see the run there.
Yeah. Blow it up a little more. Okay, so you see, it also came back from the dead, from as low as like 30 cents.
Oh, yeah, I remember this guy.
7 cents today. Again, the one that I was scared to buy because it looked like it broke out, and I didn't know. I figured if I'm going to go in, it's going to pull back again. But it keeps running, and this is a solid, very bullish candle today. Closed closed at the top of the candle, very bullish. So it might very well continue to run on next week. It's an interesting story also because the CEO of ADXS is the current CEO of OncoSec Medical. They kicked him out of ADXS. It had run. He ran it up to 30 along the path about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe more. And then it collapsed to pennies, and they threw him out. And he went to OncoSec Medical, which had a little pop when he got there. But to make a long story short, OncoSec is screwing its shareholders over with a very low buy-in of another company for half the shares. And basically, it looks like shareholders are getting the shaft from the little I've read about it. And this company looks like it might be coming back strong. Immunotherapy. All right.
Yeah,
anyway,
we discussed that one.
Yeah,
we discussed that one in general as it was. Before we have to go, I was hoping that you'd talk about CVM again. I know that's one of our favorites.
Yep. And I'm going to also take another look at ATHX, which is forming that triangle.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. We did talk about that, and we could visit the triangle again.
Yeah. So this is in a well-defined trading range. It's now right where I said resistance would be. Remember, I drew 2 lines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said it's got to get above that to break out. Well, it was exactly repelled by the 790 level. So, and I tried again today, right? What was the high today? 788. So it's having trouble breaking the high of, actually breaking through this high, which is, it's having trouble breaking $8. So let's just leave it at that. It's having trouble breaking $8. Breaks $8, we're in good shape. Today was a very nice candle, though, because it was lower most of the day, closed up at the top of the red candle. Of course, it was a great day for the Dow, but it was trading much lower.
The Dow it opened strong. It sort of tempered a little bit, and then it closed really strong. So that's in terms of the old momentum. Unless something stupid happens over the weekend, we'll probably have a good looking Monday.
Right. 753 was the low. The high is 788. That's a nice range today.
Was that for today?
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I should have picked up some more at 750, 755 or something.
Oh, was it that on Monday?
No, that was today, 753.
Oh, 750. What happened on Monday after the big bargain day?
It went to 728, closed at 767 at 65, 55. There's the candle for Monday. And not a bullish candle, even though it's slightly red.
Well, right. It still has to get past that resistance.
When you have that long lower wick, it's always bullish. And virtually no upper wick like that. So this was a very bullish candle on Monday, and it portrayed.
What can I add for you?
Who's talking to me?
I've added who's talking to your shopping list. Anything else?
Alexa, stop. I don't know why these women keep thinking I'm talking to them.
It's time for your medicine.
This is a very bullish. This is a bullish chart in my mind. Bullish on the week, anyway. Very bullish on the week.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 5-day just to see what was going on.
I'm thinking
you had a good shot.
It will break out because time is on our side on this one. As long as there's no news of the end of the trial, the odds increase that the trial is successful. Therefore, the stock will rise. Shorts days are limited, but they've done a hell of a job suppressing the price. I'll tell you that much.
Interesting. Yeah, you know, it does look poised. And I guess once it breaks that little resistance, we might have, like you said, your
11.
7-year 11.
7-year 11. And there's a poster on StockTwits. Get a load of this. His name is CVM Lil Birdie, and he goes chirp chirp, and he talks in rhymes, and they're cryptic rhymes, and you got to figure out what the heck he's talking about. 5 people have texted me, asking me or DM me, what is Lil Birdie talking about, and do I know who Lil Birdie is? I think I know who he is, by the way. I have a idea that Lil Birdie is somebody who frequents this particular show.
Very interesting, huh?
Yeah, but I will not name who I think it is for several reasons. He doesn't want.
Oh, you don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't. It's just my theory anyway as to who he is.
Right, exactly.
But he's predicting a bullish event January 20th.
For this particular stock?
On CVM.
Yeah. Well, Snaid said he bought more today. So I guess he did what you were going to do.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so that
so yeah, we wanted to look at that the pennant. That was what ATHX. And then we have to we sort of have to call it because I have a concert to go to.
Yeah, ATHX I predicted would be in this narrow trading range for a while. Till the end of the year, did I say? I don't remember.
Hey.
Beginning at least through mid-December before that triangle culminates. I'll have to draw the triangle again.
Yeah, hard to see in all that noise.
Yeah. What I do?
Oh yeah,
I didn't hit.
Let me ask you. We talked about the pennant going down and the pennant going up, right? Like we said that if a pennant has a flat top and the bottom's going up, then ultimately that means a breakout to go up. Correct?
Yeah.
And if it has a flat bottom and a top that's going down, once it hits that point, it's going to go down.
I don't remember how I drew this thing the last time.
Because this one now, if you go far back enough, like if you go, then the pennant is almost a symmetrical pennant. But yeah, you're right. If you leave what your bottom is, right, then here's your pennant right there.
Something like this.
Yeah, this was the one we had in our minds.
Yeah, and we drew it much earlier. That's why I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's because the last week is that little bit of green and red at the last 2 candles.
Yeah.
The last 2 candles might be this kind of situation where it's either doing what you said it would or betraying the future. Because we said about a week or 2 ago is that this one's poised.
This is an inside day, which sometimes people take as being bullish at the end of a long downtrend.
Right.
We have this green candle in the body of the red candle the day before. It's not quite. I can't see if it's totally embedded or not. No. Kind of like a reverse engulfing candle.
Right. Exactly.
Kind of like a Harami, but a Harami is usually a smaller body. Anyway, it looks bullish, and therefore, being that we're coming to the end of this pennant, one would expect over the next week a little bit of a pop out of here, maybe back to this level, 130s, right. 138. I think the bottom line is that the 120s are done, finished. Right, but the question I'm asking is whether or not it's even going to do that. Whether or not it's betraying if it's betraying the behavior a day too early. Well, it could. I mean, I can't force it out of here.
No, we know you're magical, but you're not that magical.
Not that
Actually,
magical,
just
but
recently I referred to myself as a mathemagician
I have a
because
feeling
my
that it's
students are such in awe of my of what I know.
north, not south. And I don't think it'll continue just going along this 129, 130 level. I think it will break out. And the question is, will it test this high up here of 148?
Right.
That's where I see it going, back to that level.
Yeah, and there's another high before it around 150.
There's a bunch of highs. Actually,
Well,
this one
yeah,
is the one you're talking about. What?
yeah.
140. Yeah, that's a high, legitimate high.
Right. I'm talking about there's one in September. There's one in September.
148, and then you're up to
Right.
this one
Right.
back in September. 152.
Well, yeah, and there goes your therein lies your pennant, because if this other one comes back down, then it's going to go right along that same line.
The thing that I don't like about athx, even if it breaks out and it retests to 152, I think we're going to get more of the same oscillations. Because you have to wait a long time till the actual news of anything.
What do they sell?
They're doing a stroke trial in Japan, and they're doing an acute respiratory distress syndrome trial in Japan, as well as States on both. So the Japan is more leading edge in terms of being easier to get through a drug through, much easier, especially regenerative medicine. And then that's what they are, stem cells.
Oh, this is a stem cell company. I see.
Yeah, stem cell company.
Gotcha.
And they're mature adult stem cells, both from the bone marrow and all of that. So there's none of that controversy about embryonic stem cells. So I think it's going to it may break out, but not take off. It won't launch, I don't think.
Fair enough.
I think it'll trade higher, but not launch.
Fair enough.
Amazon,
So we got one or two more requests. Maybe we can do one of them before we head out. Snaid was asking about Tesla, and Newell Chen was asking about either AMD or NVDA. So if you had a choice between those three, which one would you pick?
Well, Tesla, I was eyeing at 200, and I didn't pull the trigger. It's aggravating to me to look at Tesla. How about we look at NIO? Does that work?
Which one?
No.
NIO.
Ask Lynn if I can chart that instead.
Let's see. Little Birdie was wrong about ADMP, and she lost her shirt. So she's not really asking for anything else. Like I said, Newell Chen was asking about AMD or NVDA. What is that? NVIDIA?
And yeah, that's NVIDIA. They're similar chip companies, but AMD has been on a tremendous rise. Maybe it cooled off a little, but still, it's been a big winner in the chip area. And all right, we can take a quick look.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like I said, and then we could call it after that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the funny thing. Just from a consumer perspective, I always thought that this company got treated unfairly because you're gonna get you go to a store like Best Buy, and they're like, no, you got to get the Intel chip. You can't get the AMD chip.
Oh no, this is not. You're getting confused. This is not
This is Advanced Micro Devices.
You're thinking of AMAT. Different chip maker.
This is Advanced Micro Devices. These were the ones I was talking about.
Yeah,
we're on the same one. We're on the same stock.
All right. So anyway, we have. I was wondering where the bottom would be because Once it started falling, I didn't know where the hell it would stop, but it looks like clearly it has stopped, which is a good sign.
Well, right around the 27.5 spot, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's critical, and we know where the bottom is at least.
Right.
So it's not so scary to go in because you figure you have pretty good support. If it breaks that, you just sell.
Right.
Get the hell out below 30. I don't know. I think there was talk of the CEO leaving to IBM or something.
Oh, really?
That her. There's a woman CEO that's phenomenal.
Not Carly
People
Fiorina,
love her.
because you used the word phenomenal.
No,
Well, you used the word phenomenal, so I knew it wasn't her.
what did Trump say? Trump called her ugly or something? He really got into trouble.
Yeah, well, yeah, that could have cost him the presidency.
You know what I think? I think the middle of this candle is support as well.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
so you're putting the support there. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So I would draw a line right about here, somewhere in the middle.
We'll call that the new normal.
Yeah, right under you notice it's also the low of the day here. This is a good spot.
Yeah, okay.
Spot for support. So 38.20. If you want to play a swing, 38.20 would be my stop loss probably.
Right.
On the other hand, if you want to go long and feel it's vulnerable up here, I would wait for 30. I would wait for this level to go in. It doesn't make sense what I'm saying, does it? On the one hand, I'd wait for this to go in.
Right. Well,
on the other hand,
this stock, this 39.6 could be a very a trading range for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then a brand new pattern would make itself apparent after a month or two.
It may take a long time to take out the high of 41.80.
Only just looking at the stock before, looking at its behavior up until that point. At least over the last.
42 to 38.5. Looks like a new trading range to me. So you want to trade within it for day trading or swing trading? You could have fun either way. That's probably the answer. Trade between the lines. Get out above the lines.
Right, exactly. Just do a little straddle. Do a little straddling strategy within those two numbers.
It probably would make for a good straddle.
Yeah, no, I would say so, especially looking at some of its past behavior. Like testing high peaks and then coming back down again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, is there somebody who we left out totally? What did Lynn want?
She said little. She didn't really say much. We took care of her, I think, pretty much.
Oh, the little birdie was long ADMP.
Yeah, she was just telling us a story about little birdie in general.
I'm worried about the chart on CVM because I think it's the 50 and the 100 are about to cross, something like that.
Yeah, we discussed that already, so we're good.
I didn't bring that particular point up, but I think that if I recall, it's still above, hasn't crossed, I don't think. And if we break out, it's not going to, right, Spike?
Something. I'm gonna defer to you this time.
No, if it pops above the $8, we
don't have
to cross. All right.
Well, this was a lot of fun, as always.
Yeah. Watch Utah beat up Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. Yeah. Why is it that there's a million championships going on? What's going on with the
Well, these days everybody's a champion.
Yeah.
Right. The complaint about everybody getting a trophy just for showing up.
Yeah. No, I hope we satisfied you with AMD. I can't chart NVDA tonight. Lynn, thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. This has
Good
been
night.
Mike and Dr. Chase being live from Long.
Long Island.
Good night to everyone. Saeed, Greg, Cabinet Guy, Utah, everybody. Spoon. Night all.